Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. But when I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day. I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Agent Romanoff, would you escort Dr. Banner back to his
Where? You rented my room.
The cell was just
In case you needed to kill me, but you can't. I know, I tried. Out of your mind.
I want you to understand that,
Natasha, where can I go? Where in the world am I not a threat?
you're not a threat to me.
You sure? I can't have this. Kids, do the math, I physically can't.
So this is it, Marvel? All the years of storytelling has led us to this? Really? After all the years that we fans have invested into this is where you led us? Really? Now the reason why I showed you guys this scene is to just demonstrate the level of nonsense that Marvel has seeped down to. The fact that I need to even bring this up to you guys is embarrassing. Bruce Banner is the last man on Earth that should take such an insult from this woman. He has been hunted down by the government like a dog because of the fact that he's an ever-present threat to everybody around him. He is a person that has been unable to have any long-term friends, any lover, any real family at all because of the fact that he is basically a living atomic bomb that can go off if he just gets a little bit too excited. Honestly, think about how much the Hulk has ruined this man's life for the past 10 to 15 years. Think about how much he has stressed out and been trapped dealing with this rage monster we call the Hulk. And now to sit here with this woman, his cousin, and have her say something like this.
I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
It's unbelievable to me that some people actually watch this garbage and think that it's intelligent, that it actually makes sense. Keep in mind that according to her, by her own admission, the worst that she's ever had to deal with is her job, catcalling, and mansplaining. Which, compared to the struggles that Bruce has had to face for the last 10 to 15 years, to even bring that up to him is so incredibly stupid. The fact that any of them would think that it's smart to write that down and make this character say that is just mind-numbing to me.
A few months ago, I went on a road trip with my cousin Bruce.
Okay, so I'm just gonna save you guys the trouble. They get into a car accident because while she was driving, she swerves off the road after an alien spaceship just suddenly appears right in front of them. We have no explanation as of yet to why the spaceship was there, but it just was there. And after they crashed off the side of the road, she gets cut on her arm, Bruce's blood then drips into her cut, and she becomes a She-Hulk. Her origin is, as you can expect it, uninteresting because there's no real change from the audience perspective. And what I mean by change is, well, look at stuff like Spider-Man, look at stuff like Captain America, look at stuff like Tony Stark, for example. When they go from the way they were before the transformation to after the transformation, it makes the after hit so much harder. See, the thing that makes a transformation so outstanding and amazing is the fact that we as the audience have seen what life was like for them before they got that power, before they took on the hero status. That's what makes it so much of an impact. But when you remove that before aspect, it makes the origin so much lesser because you don't have any context for how much things have actually been altered.
The point was to prevent me from turning into a Hulk.
These transformations are triggered by distressed emotional states, so we need to know the exact threshold that causes it for you.
You just can't be serious. There's no way that the genius scientist with 10 to 15 years of knowledge on Hulk transformations would not be aware of the fact that a life-threatening situation is more than enough stressful to induce a transformation. You just can't get any more dumb than this. The writing needs to be reviewed by somebody else. Because honestly, I don't understand how anybody can greenlight this stuff. It's making my head hurt.
The triggers are anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
All right?
Yes, I've reconsidered. I'm still leaving.
I'm serious.
You're not the only one!
I'm always angry.
Honestly, for that one, guys, do I even need to point out what's wrong? I mean, honestly, I don't even need to say anything here. This entire fight after this scene is garbage. It's so well organized that they might as well have the director herself join in with them.
How do I turn back into Jen? How did you do it?
Natasha, for a little while, would tell me a lullaby. Necessarily. One time, I was stuck as the other guy for over 2 years.
And this right here is one of the major issues I have with this show and why I refuse to watch this show as it is. Anything that used to be a problem for Bruce is something that's used to catapult Jen's character further. For instance, Bruce used to have a problem with his transformations. Jen can completely control hers. He had to learn to control his anger over a decade worth of trial and error, whereas Jen has complete mastery over it, as she said herself.
So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Jen can go right back to normal, everyday, ordinary living, whereas Bruce has not been able to have that for almost, again, 10 to 15 years. He was constantly on the run being hunted by the government to be captured because of the fact that he was a constant threat. All of these things that he had to go through and overcome, Jen just gets to easily skip right past all of it and get to the sweet spot at the very end. That's one of the reasons why this show is not good, and one of the reasons why I doubt it ever will become good unless they pull a complete 270 spin and make her realize the error of her ways, that she's selfish, that she's narcissistic, and that she actually could learn a thing or two from her cousin Bruce. But I doubt that this would happen because it would have to make the writers of the show acknowledge the flaws in their own ideology, and that's something that's hard for people to do. But hey, I'm just Moonlight F, and I'm looking out for you.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.